Well, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes, of course, here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here and let's wake up those football gods. Wake up, guys. All right, it is Saturday morning, and let me start out by saying thank you to Jacob Garrett, David Wiley, and Isabel Gutierrez. I'm sorry, I butchered your name. Thank you guys for donating on the GoFundMe account for the studio upgrades. You're going to be entered into the drawings that we have. Randy Sykes. Randy Sykes was the winner of our first drawing that we did last night for Iraq. I appreciate all the support here. Working on growing some stuff in the studio here. If you were here last night for our live stream where I was lively, oh my God, I was lively. I was kicking ass and taking names up in this motherfucker. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Excuse me. I'm still fired up. It's a damn keto diet's got me with extra energy. But it was great because Law Nation called in. We had my man DMV, and we had a roundtable discussion about everything that is the Joneses, Dak Prescott, and all that. And it was so nice to be able to have that flow with Michael Anthony Fitness and stuff and be able to use the different cameras and things. It really felt like we were in a sports center, except just bringing you the facts as opposed to the bullshit that we get. So I appreciate that. We're working on our goal. And all three of you, right now, my man Brian from SoCal is designing our new logo. So we're going to be getting new shot glasses. So everybody that's done a $10 donation on the GoFundMe or more will be receiving a Joe Boo new shot glass for free. So I'll send you a thank you email. Make sure you guys email me back with your address so I can get it to you. So some news, okay? It's, the Dak watch. Originally, my sources told me that this was going to be the week. Well, not this week. I mean, I guess starting Monday was when the Cowboys were going to start getting down and dirty and getting back to work and meeting with Dak Prescott's people, i.e. Todd France, the guy who is known to be now the villain, the bad guy, the bane of Dallas Cowboys experience right now, the guy who is the fall guy for the reason why the Cowboys didn't get Dak Prescott's deal done. At least that's what we're being told. We're supposed to be getting back to business this week. We'll find out for sure. If that's the case, we do know come Tuesday, it's already crazy that it's almost March, but come Tuesday is the first day of 2 weeks opening for designating players as franchise players. Now, Dak Prescott, it's been an interesting period since the Super Bowl, because the day before the Super Bowl, we heard about or at least the talking heads finally started talking about it, Dak Prescott's ankle being scoped, and of course people are saying, oh, he had to have another surgery on it wasn't the broken bones, it was a clean out surgery. I talked about it before that. And then we had a guy on the fan talk about saying that basically his leg was falling off, and then we see Dak Prescott with his girlfriend in the Dominican Republic having a little vacation standing on the foot on the beach, still attached. And I kind of noticed that there was a ring on the finger. I couldn't confirm if they were engaged or not, but the player is off the market. He is engaged to his girlfriend. Congratulations. And last night, she posted on her Instagram story a picture looking out of an aircraft window. So we're assuming that they're coming back from the Dominican Republic. And in between there, Dak Prescott, along with Matthew McConaughey, ended up helping some homeless shelters, because right now things are bad in Texas as well as the whole South down through because of the winter storms. And it's going to be a lot of money and a lot of resources, and we have to look out for others in there. And I'm so happy that Dak Prescott is being part of the solution as opposed to part of the problem. But he still needs to work on a deal. Jerry Jones, on the other hand, well, he's a businessman. Jerry Jones didn't become a multi-billionaire by giving it away. Fortunately for him, his gas company was prepared for the storm, and they're able to produce to take care of demand. I read something last night that I'm kind of mystified, and I almost find it hard to believe. And maybe some of you people in Texas can clarify and educate me on it. But some of the electricity and the utilities are market-based price. Now we have a fluctuation. They charge a little more in the winter and the summertime than they do the spring and the fall. A little bit, not major. But I read an article, and I want to know if this is true or not, that this one gentleman who has a house that's vacant, he kept the heat on 60 to keep the pipes from freezing. He's already spent $2,500 on the electric bill. That the kilowatt hours, which normally are about $50 a kilowatt hour, have risen as much as $9,000. So Jerry, being the businessman that he is, knowing that there's a need out there, knowing that they ain't got no place else to go. I didn't hear about Jerry Jones saying, you know what? We're going to cut a deal. We're going to give a home team discount to the people in Texas. These are my people. I'm going to be a team player. And instead of making as much money as I can, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut the price. I understand that the other power companies, that they're charging full price, you know. But I'm going to take a hit because this is my state. I'm going to give a break. People are hurting. They need, I'm the only game in town. So I'm going to devalue my product. I'm going to take less because, I got the Dallas Cowboys. I've got the Dallas Cowboys. So, I've got plenty of money coming in off of all those Cowboy fans. So with my day job, I can give a discount. I can work for less. The funny thing is I haven't heard that. Because, see, when you're the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, because you're the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, you've got the biggest fan base in the world. The biggest fan base. We buy more jerseys. Look at this. Dak. And these were gifts. These were gifts. I got another one that's over here. I got Roger Staubach. I've got Cowboy Joe Booze. I got Drew Pearson. I got Dez Bryant. Hell, I even got a Jay Ratcliffe. I got a Jason Witten. I got a whole, in fact, I had to come up with, I'm building a new rack that's going to be made just to hold jerseys because I have so many of them. Because you're the owner of the Dallas Cowboys. See, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're selling more jerseys now because they got Tom Brady, but they don't have all those, vintage ones, the Roger Staubachs and throwbacks. The Jets, they don't sell a lot of jerseys. Cincinnati, they don't sell a lot of jerseys. But because you're the Dallas Cowboys, you make more money than everybody else. It just is. The biggest franchise. You've got the biggest draw. So you're going to give a discount to all the people in Texas, right? Because that's what you're saying Dak Prescott needs to do. You're saying because you're the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, you make a lot more money on your other gig. That you should look out for your fan base, and we're family, and give a discount. We know that there's not a lot of quarterbacks out there. We understand that, you ain't got no place to go and get these services, that unless you trade for Russell Wilson and give up, more draft capital where it's going to hurt you trying to build the other parts of the team, or Deshaun Watson, which, really is about a lateral move, or try and draft and hope that you don't crap out, because it's kind of interesting that first round drafted quarterbacks, literally now from 2009 through 2016, not a single one of them are still with the same team. Drafting a guy in the first round doesn't always work out in the long term. Wow. Yeah. And I'm here to say that this is bullshit. The whole salary cap situation. There's MG George or George MG, whatever the hell your name is, who keeps saying Dak is gone. They don't have money to pay Dak. They only got $19 million cap space. Can't sign him to a franchise tag. Can't sign him long term. He's out of here. He's done. And I keep saying, I'll bet you, man. I told you. Here's the bet, George. If they do not sign Dak Prescott, here's the bet. They do not sign Dak Prescott, I will make you a rack. Boom. And I will say right on the back of it, George, you are the man. You were 100% right. I was 100% wrong. The Cowboys do sign Dak Prescott. You get to come up here and say, Mark Holmes, I'm an idiot. You are right. Joe Boo Sports rule. Just let me know if that works for you. Just let me know. You want to tweak it a little bit? You know, we can tweak it. I got no problem with that. But I want you to put it out there. Because I see all the hate that you got. You say the same thing. Let's put your money where your mouth is, okay? But back to the whole salary cap situation. We act like the Cowboys are in dire straits, that they are literally cap hell. Cap hell is where the Eagles are right now. Cap hell is where New Orleans is right now. And even with that, there's still ways that they can fix the situation. One is they're realizing that most of their players are old and not performing. You know, they finally said, you know what, it's time to let Deshaun Jackson go. That didn't work out. We ended up paying him like $18 million for 2 years. We got 386 yards, 26 catches, and he played in 6 games. Wasted money. We don't want to waste another $10 million this year. Let's get rid of him, take the cap hit. Carson Wentz is ass. You know, the reality is the relationship is just broken. That dog's not going to hunt. Let's take that hit now, get rid of it this year, and just look at this as a wretched year. Zach Ertz wants to get paid. We'll go ahead and trade him, see if we can get something for him, try and get as many picks as possible so we can get young people to start all over and things like that. If not, we'll release him. We'll save somebody that way. And this is what you have to do when you get to the point where the Eagles were. The Eagles, to their credit, they caught lightning in a bottle. They used free agency and the draft and trades to get in as much talent as possible, and they built a complete team. A complete team. It wasn't Carson Wentz. It wasn't Nick Foles. It was all those guys. It was a great offensive line. It was a running game. It was a defense that ended up shutting people down and getting the football. And they played as the best team in 2017, as much as it hurts me to say. But the team got fat and old and bloated with heavy contracts. And you got to start over. And that's the natural progression in football. As far as the salary cap goes, yes, the NFL has said it's going to be a minimum of $180 million. It's not going to be the worst case scenario. We don't know exactly where it's going to be. I'm betting it's going to be 185 to 187. That's just my own personal take, because they're having new sources of revenue. Now, I can't confirm. I was trying to find it. My man Law Nation last night was saying that they heard by 2025 it's going to be over $400 million. I had heard by 2027, this was last year projections, that would be around $470 million, literally doubling. So what you have to do this year is just get through to this year. Because think about this. I want you to listen to me very, very carefully, because sometimes you guys don't seem to. You had a season where you lost pretty much all the gate revenue in a world pandemic. You only lost 10% of your revenues, because that's what it translates to. About 10%, depending. It may only be 5%. If the cap goes to 185, 188, then it's actually 5% with all of those people who didn't go to the stadium. That's actually remarkable, because when you think about the malls, what they went through, they're shutting down. They're closing up. Most businesses went out of business. They didn't just take a little hit. Think about that. Now add to that next year, you had 17 weeks of football. Guess what? Next year, there'll be 18 weeks. You've got a whole another week of games. That alone is a 16th raise of revenue. Think about that $3.2 billion that they're estimating on gambling. That's a new source of revenue that's just started now because of the new collective bargaining agreement. And Lord knows every other commercial now, at least in my state, is about all of the FanDuels and all the different apps and offering you, you know what, just sign an account, we'll give you $250, we'll give you $1,000 on your first bet. Because they're trying to get you hooked like any crack dealer does. You have Washington is going to have legalized gambling at the stadiums. Jerry Jones is working on getting legalized in Texas for it on the apps. You will have casinos there. Bam. And to put this into perspective, $3.2 million in just getting gambling money. That's money that's being paid to them, as opposed to the $3 billion they get from gate revenues where they have to operate a stadium. They got to hire people to work the concession stands, to be ticket people, to be, security, turn on the lights. The money from gambling is royalties being paid. Royalties. I've only got to do shit for that, except count the money. Television contracts. Everything is going streaming. Everybody, all the networks, all now have streaming options. Get a few dollars here and there. You don't think that the NFL is looking at having a streaming network partner? Start streaming games? You don't think that DirecTV's Sunday Ticket won't be a streaming option that we can just pay for directly and get right on our phones? All of this money is coming. And real easily, all you have to do is say, hey, we can get through this year. We'll have tons of money next year. And this is why it behooves you, if you see a player and you say, we want to lock that guy down, to do that now versus next year. Because what we're looking at now, we're talking about, oh my God, Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes, I can guarantee you, 2 or 3 years from now, is going to look at his contract and say, yo, bro, I need to redo this thing. The gains will be that significant. I know you're not going to believe me. No, you're not. But I said just 2 years ago, pay Dak. Can't pay him $30 million. It's too much. He's not worth that. It's not about that. You have to be forward thinking and looking and projecting and knowing what's going to happen. Could you imagine if we had Dak Prescott signed to a contract for $30 million right now? How good a shape we would be in? Yeah. But no, we're the Cowboys. We're not forward thinking. And Jerry, if you expect Dak Prescott to give a discount, I'm betting that the people in Texas, your people, the ones that support you, the ones that have helped to make you billionaires, I bet you they would like to get that home team discount too. All right, y'all. It's going to be a busy day. Sorry, this ended up being a little bit on the long side. I'm going to post an extreme rant last night where I literally went off on one of the idiots out there. And it was kind of fun. It was kind of releasing some of that stress. And I dare say I felt better afterwards. I don't know how that person felt, but I felt pretty good. But as always, I want to thank you all for being part of the Jobu Sports Report and helping to support us to continue to grow. And we will continue to bring you the best news on the Dallas Cowboys and the NFL. And I'll see you soon.